The following program is rated TV-17, containing bad language,
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
sexual situations,
Like, you're gonna take your pants off instead?
nudity,
Sure.
and graphic depictions of nut-crunching dick kicks.
Oh, I just had to kick in the diddly again.
Parental discretion is advised.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ronin Joe Show. It is Sunday. It is 10 p.m. I am feeling good. Well, slightly. I guess we'll talk about that. Marvel is screwing over its creators. A new Stan Lee documentary. That's going to be pretty interesting. Did everybody see the Allstate BATEMAN? Well, we're going to check it out tonight on the Ronin Joe Show. Let's go! Oh yeah, it is the Ronin Joe Show. Let's go, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm seeing people jumping in here in the chat. We are going to pray that the computer is fixed. We're going to see. No promises. It might freeze up. It might kick me again like it did last week. But if it does, we're going to get through it. And we'll see what happens. All right? Let's say hi to the chat. See what's going on with everybody. We got Hail the Lores in the house. Look at that. Hail the Lore is number one in the chat, number one in my heart. Good to see you, brother. You're number one. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. You are number one. Mark Penguin jumping in here, number two. Let's talk about some fun stuff, or something fun. It's gonna be something. I can at least guarantee you on this show that it'll be fun. Let's say that. I hardly ever rant. I hardly ever talk about drama on this show, but you never know. You never know. Paul Arts in the house says, hail to you, my friend. Good to see you, brother. We also have Heath Ward, Cosmic Studios, member of the channel, is in. It feels so good to have you here tonight. Statistical Zero. So I'll pop in and listen. Just finishing my stream. Hello all. Hello to you, brother. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Duck Bacon. What is going on? We got YSA in the house as well. Look at all you beautiful people. Crater 7! What up, man? Good to see you. It's been a while. We do have Rick Sela, member of the channel, in the house. It feels so good. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. We got Brian Norton in the house. Says, hail all. Hail to you, my friend. Great to see you. Blue Boy says, hail Joe in the chat. Hail CG. Hail indie comic creators. I like that. Hail all you beautiful people out there. You're my boy, Blue. I gotta make you a video still one of these days. It's gonna happen. I guarantee it. I haven't semi-lazy, you know. We got Charles Rebus in the house. Great to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. And Kayla, my co-host on Appreciating Comic Book Art Live, which will be back at some point. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. Who else am I missing here? Let's see. Anybody? Let me get down here. Ben Jones is in the house. What's going on, man? Great to see you. Henry Bemis, been a second. Hope you are doing good, my friend. Pizza's in the house. Look at that. And Mike McMahon. All right. Some great people in the chat. Let's get rocking with today. Let's just do it. Let's get into it. Oh. Just can't stop listening to this song, though. It's jammed, man, right? If you ever have a theme song, what better song to have than your name? All right, let's jump into this. Ah, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling goofy, which is the way it should be on a Sunday night. Oh, shit. Look who we have in the chat. We have a rock star, a superstar in himself, a man, among other things, a 25,000. You hit 25,000 subs. I think that's what it is. Don't quote me because I get things wrong all the time. But this man right here, amazing. Look at that. You just gifted 5 memberships, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I don't deserve you as a friend. I mean, I do because I'm that fucking awesome. But, you know, between you and me, I don't, right? Memberships picked up by Kayla, Mike McMahon, Henry Bemis, Phantasmagorical. Appreciate you guys. You know what I haven't done here in a while? Where is it? So many shit. Okay, let's do this.
Hello, Eugenia.
You're the king. Oh! You are a bastard.
Yeah!
Let me help you up.
I guess I deserve that.
just had to kick you in the diddly again.
Nut crunching dick kicks is what we're about here. And also, let's do this.
Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
That carries a whole different connotation now. Interesting stuff. We do have another legend in the house. Michael Bancroft. What is going on, brother? Thank you for gracing me in the chat. You've been here quite a bit on Sundays and stuff. I appreciate you, as always. Looking forward to talking tonight, seeing if everything is going to go okay with my computer. Fingers crossed, but let's jump into it. You guys know, here on the Ronin Joe Show, I like to start things off light, funny, sometimes funny, but this is not really necessarily a funny thing that I saw, but an interesting thing. If you guys are into tattoos, which I am, in fact, I took my daughter, me and my wife took my daughter for her birthday party yesterday to go get her ears pierced for the first time. She handled it like a champ. 6 years old, handled it like a champ, both ears at the same time, boom, ready to go, rock star. Couldn't be more proud of her. But we went to a tattoo parlor. It was the first time I've been in a tattoo parlor for years. And so I'm watching somebody get a tattoo, and it hit me again. You're like, I haven't got a tattoo since 2012, right? So we're talking about 13 years. What's the math here? 15 years. And I got it, man. I got the itch. I'm like, man, I need to get another tattoo. I got to finish out this arm. I got this whole forearm I need to do. I got stuff on this arm I need to get done. So I might. We're going to do it here. What are you saying, Kayla? I can't get Joe to read what? Oh, yeah. You guys are obsessed with this 7 to Eternity. I told you one of these days I'm going to do it. One of these days. But not today. Not this day. All right. Tattoos. My whole setup, which I just lost there because of Kayla. My whole setup, I wanted to look at this. I saw this today when I was cruising the Extremes. And you got this, the chick. Wait, I don't need the music. Stop it. Okay. Don't need the music. Okay. I saw this. And right off the bat, I was like, this is badass. Not so much because it's a lady walking around in a bikini. You know, that's cool. That works too. You know, I mean, like, but the design of this tattoo is fantastic. In fact, if I was designing a costume for a female character with all the lines that flow along the body shape and accentuate things, I would do this design. But this is some fantastic work. I was telling my wife, I was like, this is probably not something you're going to want when you're 80, you know, but maybe she will. I don't know. If she keeps that figure, you know, especially if she gets bigger. You know, I'm just saying, tattoos, if you see tattoos on someone and they look good at a certain size, and, you know, if you blow up a little bit, the tattoo gets stretched out, you know, things might not look the greatest after a while. You know, I'm just saying, but as of right now, God bless this girl in her, I'm assuming 20s, 30s, early 30s, maybe. I don't know. I can't tell age. But yeah. What fat? No, I'm not saying she's fat right now. No. She's rocking it right now. But I'm just saying when it happens, you know, tattoo, they stretch. We got all this in the house. Great to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. Henry Bemis, what are you saying? Hello to people. I got you. Not for, oh, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I respect it. There's a lot of people that don't like the tattoo world. Normally, I'm not a big fan of this kind of gaudy tattoos. I'm really not. Like it's way overdone. But the design of the tattoos to me, I think, are fantastic on this. And I'm really just more impressed by the art than I am anything else. And mostly because I'm looking at this, like if I was designing a costume, maybe not all the details with the flowers and stuff, but the way the lines work on the body is a lot of kind of design wise that I would do on a female costume. So I dug it. I thought that was pretty cool. Thought maybe you guys would be interested in that like I am. Yes, it is badass. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Everybody's a fan of Aldous, of course. Why not? Aldous. Although Aldous is not as a big of a 90s fan as I am, but I do forgive him for that, you know, because he's a cool dude. We've always been cool. So, you know, I forgive him for not liking the 90s as much as I do. Yeah, fat with a P. Absolutely. You know what I'm talking about. No tattoos on me, but I did write down a couple of things I need from the store on my hand. Hey, that's a start. You know, that's a start. Tattoos for me were, well, one, I was getting into the music scene a little bit more, metal. I just wanted more tattoos. I just wanted tattoos in general when I first started getting them I was a late bloomer. Like I got a tattoo when I was 22. I think it was the first time. Maybe I was 21. Maybe it was 20. I can't remember. Anyway, early 20s. And it's like, it's addicting. It's like the first time you do it, There's something involved with the pain. There's a pain that's kind of addicting. You like that pain, and you want to go back and get some more, and you keep wanting to see these designs. A lot of the tattoos on my arm, I designed myself. I had somebody else draw them at the time because the lady I worked with that did the majority of my tattoos was fantastic. But I did a lot of the designs. I've got a couple of my own art on my body, so that's cool. But no, it's good. No, if you don't like tattoos, I'm all about it. It's all good. Doesn't offend me, but I dig it. I like the art style all around. The body's a canvas, man. You know, drawing it. Let's go. I forgive you for not reading. Oh, you still on this? You still on? Okay, all right. I forgive you for not reading 7 to Eternity. Well, thank you. Thank you. I was in my 30s when I got my first. See, you're never too old. You're never too old. You do it. Joe's a fullback. Yeah. Shh. We're not trying to tell people that, face shot right on the back. It's true though. It's true. I gotta get around to doing videos on 7 to Eternity. Apparently that's a very popular one. One of these days I'll look at it. Can't guarantee I'm gonna read it, but I might look at it. We'll see what happens. All right. Let me show you something. If you guys have not seen this yet, how many? Okay. So many things open. Here we go. All right, computer, do your thing. Of course. I'll just say in the chat, if we have the same problem we had last week, if I get bumped, just wait. I'll come right back in. All right. How many people are watching Invincible out there? Like, I'm not watching it. I'll just say that. I watched season 1. I thought it was good. I didn't come back for season 2. Just busy, busy doing other stuff. Although season 3, I've been watching clips and everything that people are putting up on X, and it's looking great, looking good. The this fight that just came out, was this a season finale? I think the Gooch or whoever's in there in the chat, let me know if this is the season finale everyone's talking about of Invincible season 3. Makes me kind of want to jump back in and start watching again. But I saw this clip of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who I've liked all the way going back to the first time I ever saw him, I think, was Grey's Anatomy. And then the comedian and Watchmen and all that stuff. So I followed his career. I've always liked him. Coming into Walking Dead as Negan, he's just got a sense about him. When they said he was going to be the voice for this character, what's this character's name? I can't remember. What do they say is a character? I always forget this character's Conquest, right? Okay. I was like, I don't know if it fits. But I saw some clips. So I was like, okay, I get it. I saw this clip of him doing some actual voice acting, and I wanted to play this because it's really badass. By the way, let me know if you can hear this, hear the sound in the chat, because the last time I tried to do this, sometimes the sound doesn't come through, and I'm just sitting here like a dumbass being like, oh yeah, that's good. And everyone's like, we can't hear it. So let me know. I'm gonna start playing it. But I love watching people do voice work and how they get into the acting of it side by side with the character from the show. So here we go. Check this out. It's awesome.
I want to thank you, Mark. Really. It's not often I get to cut loose like this. Usually there are so many mission parameters, so many things not to destroy, people not to kill. But for whatever reason, and I don't really care why, I was ordered to take control of Earth by any means necessary.
Okay, cool.
You did something to piss us off, and I thank you for it. This has been an immense joy. I can see the future. You don't live to see tomorrow. After all I've done, after all this, you still think you can threaten me? I dare
so good.
say, child, you are starting to impress me. Do your worst.
I'll pause it there. Just a clip on X. I will say this. I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Just the cocky way that he portrays all of his characters. And yeah, to me, he fit Negan perfectly. And I think almost everything he does now is kind of like Negan. The only thing I would have done different with the Invincible stuff here is I would have had the character maybe mimic a little bit more of Jeffrey Dean Morgan's way he kind of delivers lines, because there's a certain thing like cockiness, about that actor that could actually come through in the cartoon character. And yeah, it might not be exactly what they're going for with that specific character, but I saw that and I was just like, man, that makes me want to watch this show even more just for the one episode I think that this character is in. If you guys have seen, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you pay attention on X, it's all over the place on X. But so far it's getting me to a point where I kind of want to, jump back in and start watching it again. We got Negan and Glenn having a showdown. That was the other thing, right? Yeah, the voice, the dude that played Glenn is the voice actor of Mark in Invincible. So yeah, this was kind of a reverse, So Glenn got his a little bit of his revenge here in this episode. It was really good. I gotta check it out. Thrag, I think, is the character that's going to be coming next, right? This is the guy that was set up for Thrag, if I remember correctly, because I think Thrag has black hair, mustache, a little bit younger. This is, I think, Conquest is his name. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what it is. Eastern Studios can dominate us, dude. What was I saw just earlier today? Bo DeMeo put I can't remember what the movie was that he posted, but it was just like 80s anime, 80s anime, and just how beautiful the animation was back then, and how we just dipped so much. Like, I don't understand, like, and that was like hand-drawn stuff back in the day, right? And beautiful backgrounds, and you just some beautiful work, and we've gotten so far away from that. Some of the stuff I saw in Invincible, people were talking about how great the art was in this last, or the animation was in this last episode, and from some of the stuff I saw, it really was pretty damn good. But then you go back and look at stuff from the 80s and stuff, like Kira, Ghost in the Shell, Ninja Scroll, anime stuff, and you're just like, man, it's so superior. It's so superior. Can you imagine having modern day stuff look like that with just, a little bit better production, but have that same kind of art quality, animation quality in their shows? Just how awesome that would be. I think I posted something on Twitter the other day that I saw that Disney might be going back and doing their first hand-drawn animated movie in, when was the last one that they did? What was the last one they did? Hunchback of Notre Dame, somewhere around there, but they're going to be going back to it. I'm all for it. Like, I like some of the movies that have come out from Disney lately, like Moana 2. It's a beautiful movie. You saw it in the theater, like the colors, some of the animation with the ocean and the hair and all this. It sticks right out, right? It's beautiful stuff. Nothing against it. But there is just something special about the quality of the hand-drawn animated movies that we just don't get anymore. And I would love to see that come back. So I'm hoping to see that. I just saw a teaser for an anime version of All You Need Is Kill, and it looked pretty neat. Sweet, man. I started watching some anime for free. It's gorgeous. 80s animation was just great. It was something else, man. It's still to this day, like, I'll watch it. I'm just blown away. Oh, okay. Princess and the Frog. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that one. That's a good one, though. My daughter really likes that. Princess and the Frog. Yeah, it was the last hand-drawn Disney animated movie. So I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I'm excited. I hope more animating houses follow suit and give us some of that, because it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. That's all I'll say. I wonder if the new Disney hand-drawn animation will be done in their old style or something new. Prater, I think whether it's their old style, because those artists are probably not drawing anymore. And granted, house style, you could probably find other artists that are drawing similar to that. I think just seeing the animated style again, hand-drawn, is enough for me. Whether it's, an old style, house style of Disney or not, I just want to see that, and again, it's just something I respect, watching them draw, like, still by still by still, how they make that move, how they have to be so accurate on what they're doing. It's incredible. Some of the best artists, I think, in the world were hand drawn animators. Eric's in the house. What's going on, brother? Says, do you guys notice in a couple months, because of tariffs, comic books are being priced up $1 more per comic book? Spawn 366 goes from $2.99 to $3.99. Does it? I haven't seen them talk about raising the price. I do know from talking to Thomas Elliott, though, they've been having printing problems for a long time. But here's the thing on a lot of that. Print more in the United States. Bring more of that business to the United States instead of going outsourcing that for printing. That might help bring. It might be a jump up in cost in the short run, but you bring in, you infuse business into the United States printing, and there's tons of small printers out there that do really quality work and can take business and might be competitive to some of the bigger printers. I know, like Mixum and Comics Wellspring, some of these guys, they are expensive. When you're trying to print massive runs of comics, they do get up there. But there are tons of small stuff. Tons. I've worked with small printers before that have got great quality. The ash cans I did for Reaper Destroyer was a very small printer. I think out in Arizona or somewhere, and they did a fantastic job of what they did. If they were still around, I probably would have gone through them more. They changed the style of Mickey Mouse and some of their more recent stuff, and I'm not a fan. I'm not the target. Yeah. No, I get you on that. Because there's a huge distribution to. Yeah, absolutely. What is this, a boot? Tariffs on comics? Some person's in the house says, damn, that means art supply is going to go up too. Yeah. Possibly. I'd say get to the stores and get stuff now. Yes, make America self-efficient. Yeah, I'm all for it. I am 100% all for it. Get us self-reliant again. Again, it might be a short-term pain, right? But if I'm willing to go as a consumer to go through a short-term pain to get back to where we are not depending on other countries for metal and wood and minerals and paper and like all this kind of stuff. We can produce all that stuff here, and we can provide jobs to the American economy and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, that's enough. I'm talking about that. We're moving on. I was watching some cartoonists draw Woody Woodpecker back in the day. Very fast artists. It looked like a magic trick. Yeah, some of those guys, they're just wild, man. You buy in bulk. Good thing I'm obsessed with my pen buying. Yeah. I mean, that's why a lot of people were going digital, there for a while. And it does save some money. I'll say that. It's something I will always be a traditional physical medium kind of guy when it comes to drawing. Pencil, pen, paper. That's what I'm here for. And that's probably never going to change. But a lot of people, I understand why you do it, and it makes sense in the long run. When it comes to pricing the stuff, if you're trying to save money, then yeah, I get it. All right, let's move right along here. I do kind of have a main topic, but this was kind of a slow week, I think, in certain stuff that was going on. So I just picked some things I thought was fun to look at. One of the things I saw was this Allstate BATEMAN commercial that they put out, which I thought was hilarious and so well done. I don't know how many people saw it, but I want to watch it with you guys. Sable Brush is already through the roof since the little critter is caught in Russia. Nice. That sucks. Okay. Let me get into this. As soon as I can get my computer on the right page. One of these days when it actually happens. There we go. All right. How many people saw this in the chat before I start this? Let me turn this up. I'm sure, who knows how much I'm playing this stuff. My channel gets struck. It happens. I do have to say, after seeing this, the production on this, give me a movie of this. Like this is kind of cool. Not necessarily Jason Bateman as Bateman, but this was a lot of money and good production put into a Allstate commercial. And I haven't seen this on TV. I don't know if this was a Super Bowl thing. If it was, I must have missed it. But I only saw it on X. So here we go. Okay, you guys have seen it. Good. Let's play it again.
No, you're joking.
As havoc continues across Gotham City.
Yeah, this will probably be the thing that gets me hit.
Is Batman.
Batman?
We'll see what happens.
Close enough. Bateman. Gotta tell you, the suit.
Let me turn down just a little bit.
Cave, if you know what I mean.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman.
No, yeah, it was great costume and makeup. Yep.
Easy, Batemobile, not too fast, baby.
They did a really good job.
What is dusk?
Fans of the comics for sure.
What is dawn?
Some of the best costume designs.
Do something, Bateman.
No, that's facts.
Stop. Whoa, cat lady. Time out. Wow.
Cat lady.
Nice fanny bag.
Thank you. Rude. What is love? All right. What isn't love? Just awesome.
Not all protection is the same.
Any last words?
It's so well done.
Just one.
It's so well done.
Dermatologist.
That's why you need a real.
They actually have a dude playing Batman.
Go home, Bateman. Do a podcast or something. That's hurtful.
Citizens need help as vandalism.
Bayman.
Never
B-Man.
Poison Ivy.
Oh, yeah, Poison Ivy. Oh, yeah.
Someone's flirt.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
Please.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is feeling much more Batman.
I'm weak in the knees for Poison Ivy. I'll say that.
When it comes to protection, you wouldn't settle for Bateman when there's Batman. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
Oh, here we go.
Don't touch that.
Well, now I want to touch it more.
I'm gonna pause this here. Look at that. That is a badass job of a depiction of the Joker. Probably one of the best I've seen since Nicholson. Yeah, Heath Ledger's was great. The take that they did on his, kind of like a Crow look, you know. But as far as like the cartoony Joker look, I don't know who this dude is. I don't even know if he's a good actor, but I'm kind of like, cast him in the role. Let's go. Like this, pretty solid. Look at that. That's like Arkham Joker, the Arkham games series. That is almost exactly what it is. Good Lord.
Party clown.
Beautiful.
We're gonna be roomies. No juggling, no magic, no balloon animals. I don't want any weird clown stuff, okay?
Oh man, that was too good. I only play it once so I don't get hit there. Whoever directed this believed in hard work. Yeah, no, they put a lot into it, and it was really good. Full of bees. Well, who doesn't, man? Who doesn't? You know, I said before, it's because of comic books that I like redheads. You know, because of Mary Jane. Being a Spider-Man fan as I was when I was a kid, coming up in that prime, puberty age of recognizing things and seeing Mary Jane drawn in some very promiscuous ways by guys like Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, and Mark Bagley. That did it for me. That made me a redhead fan for the rest of my life. I'm weak in morals to that poison. Right? Sheldon? Right? We've been covering the Hush series. Sean and I have on Ott and Stuff on Thursdays. And there was the second issue where they had Poison Ivy, third issue where they had Poison Ivy. That was probably one of my favorites just because of Poison Ivy. There's something about a character like that that's like this flirty sexual character that can get you in compromising situations, and she uses like her lips and stuff to control you. Yeah, I still at 43 years old, I still dig it. This Joker came straight out of the comic book. Fantastic design. It had like a little bit of the Nicholson kind of Tim Burton look, but without the crazy exaggerated face makeup, which I loved Jack Nicholson's version. Don't get me wrong. But this one does. It looks like straight out of the comics. Like everything about this hit. Like, so kudos to the guys that created this commercial or whatever you want to call this. They put a lot of time into it, a lot of effort, and I think they nailed it. It was great. Give me a TV series of that. Give me a movie of that. All these guys are making Batman movies, like Matt Reeves. If you guys have seen like the depiction of the Joker in that series, as much as I like the Batman movie, and I kind of believe in, I like that tone. Some of the stuff I don't like, yeah. But like the Joker thing is just absolute garbage. Like, why can't you get the Joker right? Like, everyone, I think, is too worried about going too cartoony with a character like the Joker. And they want to, Nolan did the more kind of dark version of the Joker, and it worked. But ever since then, everyone wants to scar him up and like do all this stuff. They're afraid to kind of lean into his actual look like this commercial did. And I think this commercial, if anything, showed you that you can go that direction and it's going to look awesome. So, hopefully, yeah, it was pretty badass. Imagine a guy like that roaming around your city, and dude, right? No, 100%. Speaking of redheads, sub to Red Valkyrie, a plethora of comics related shows. Plethora. That's a good one. I can't believe I said that. Good one. Yeah. Sub. Everybody sub to Red Valkyrie. If you are a mod in the chat, please drop links to people's books, people's YouTube shows, everything. It's free in here. Drop them in for free. If you want somebody to get some more eyes on stuff, do it. I want to see it. Let's support each other. DC is pissed off, or DC has to be pissed off about it. But I don't think they could have done that without DC's permission. So I think the only thing that they might have done is hopefully giving them some direction on ways to go when you're talking about actual designs of character. Because, they're just like, let's do a straight comic book accurate representation. I mean, think about Two-Face looked great. The Riddler looked great. I think that they didn't have the Penguin, I don't think it, but everything they did was very accurate, and still, I mean, the Batman even kind of captures some of that like Nolan, armored type of suit too. So, shout out to them. It was cool. I've watched that a couple times now, and just, I'm jealous of that Joker. I like the old Zeller's Batman ad. I don't know if I've seen that one. This shows it's possible to give comic book accurate characters in live action. No, it does. And I think that's the thing that they proved right there. So I'm pretty excited about it. All right, let me close out some of these windows since you guys have seen everything. Oh shit. No, I did actually see this. We'll play one more clip before I get to one of these articles I wanted to get to and talking about. I saw this the other day, and I understand that might be the wrong. Yeah, that's the wrong screen. Hold on a second. I saw this the other day as I'm trying to set this up. There it is. There it is. Yo, is some of the hot water, if you guys have seen the new Captain America movie, which I haven't, probably wait till it gets to streaming or something. When I have an off day, I'll check it out. It's been very true for a long time about the character designs. Yeah. The lowest price is the law. Okay. I know Anthony Mackie has been in some hot water for some of the stuff he said on the Captain America tour that he was doing. But this is some of the reasons why I like Anthony Mackie. And I don't know too many things about him personally here, but I really love what he's saying here about the American masculinity, which seems to have disappeared and has been pretty much killed. Now, I know people are getting on him about this. Some people are saying this was it's like a homophobic shot or something, but when you listen to him talk about it, he's really just talking about like what a man should be and how you raise a man. And I like this. So I want to play this real quick before we jump into an article, but I really agreed with this. I was like, more people need to have this mentality when it comes to American masculinity.
My boy.
As I get back to here.
Boys,
Okay. I think we're good. We're good on my end. Sorry about that. Sorry about the glitch. Here we go.
I keep my boys humble. Like my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like
That
kids.
fly shit.
And no, I don't give I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid. Do not.
Love
my
it.
oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tell the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he gonna straighten the other ones out. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They
Facts.
have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities.
Love it.
For one reason or another. But
Speaking
I raised
truth
my boys
here.
to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for.
I'll just add on to that. Open the door for anybody. I mean, this is how I was raised right here. Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you. Please hold the door for a lady. Open the door for a lady. Hold the door for an elderly person. It doesn't matter. You know, it's just being polite. It's what it is to be a man. Let's go.
They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night. This alarm is on. You text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect.
Great message.
You can have all the money in the world, climb through the window. That money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world. You jump through the door. That celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there, you know? And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I love it. So he's messed up and said some things on the Captain America Brave New World, whatever that thing was called, trail, but I have to bring it back. Like, that stuff was absolutely important here. It was important to say, because we have lost the American masculinity. Men aren't taught to be men anymore. we're becoming more very effeminized country with the toxic masculinity and all that stuff. But I think the masculinity is coming back because you need it, and that's not a shot to anything else. You need femininity, you need masculinity. It goes hand in hand, right? Nothing has to hold another one down. But yeah, he's getting some pushback because people think that it's like a shot against like gay and trans and all that kind of stuff, which it's not. It's not. But it's like raise your boys to be men. Raise them correctly, with respect. Men should be protectors, they should be providers, and that's how you should raise them, with respect, with the ability to treat people the way that they should be. So I saw that and I was like, that is awesome. Kudos to him. Hopefully he doesn't get too much of a pushback on that, but hopefully more so that people actually hear that and it inspires other people, because I think the majority, that's how I was raised. I think a lot of people in the chat, that's how you were raised, probably how you raised your kids now. That's how I raised my daughter now, not to be a man, but to be respectful, to be, to be what it is to my wife teaches her what it is to be a woman as she's growing up, You need that. American ideals. It's important. It's unique. Shout out to him. All right, Sheldon Martin, appreciate you, brother. Oh, you're saying later stat. I thought you said later chat. Stat. All right, brother. Time to head to sleep. Good night, all. Hope you're doing good, brother. Have a great night. Have a great week. And thank you for hanging out. Got Citizen Ronin in the chat. My little guardian is a SNW. My little guardian is an S. Oh, Smith & Wesson. Took me a second. I'm not good with that stuff, man. You got to put it out there. It takes me way too long to figure out what this letter means and this letter means. You know that about me. You know that. By the way, did a series of ads that included a few Batman villains? Oh, the what you were talking about? Tag me on Twitter or X about it, and I will definitely check it out. There's always going to be selective outrage over anything that is said in a public venue. A level of response commensurate. All this tripping me up with words to the popularity of the speaker. And I get you on that. I get you on that for sure. All right, now I'm gonna close down all these windows so it doesn't keep booting me. All right, let me jump into what are we doing on time? We're good. I always wonder if I'm getting through the show at a good pace or not. So let's jump into let's just do that. How many people are, I asked this last week and then it froze on me. So we're going to see how this works. Key thing now is is there enough real men to teach these up and comers how to be one? Or is it going to be on us Gen Xers, grandparents? Now, that's a great question, man. The one saving grace I'll say is I'm right there on the line of Gen X and millennial, I guess. I grew up always thinking I was Gen X, and someone was like, oh, no, you were born in this day. You're actually a millennial. I'm like, whatever. The majority of the people I grew up with, guys that are in the same age as me, late 30s, early 40s, they all kind of grew up the same way, taught how to be men, by masculine parents. So I think there's going to be I don't think we're going to have this massive skip of generation of masculinity. I just think that there's been too much, the loud people on social media, the echo chamber of people that kind of fall into the toxic masculinity aspect of America have just been making a bunch of noise for too long. Right. But I do think that there's enough people out there that have been raised the right way and will raise their kids the right way that I don't think that there's going to be that much of a drop off. So I'm actually pretty confident, pretty hopeful going into the future that we are going to see that kind of come back. And what's going to happen, what's going to make that even more possible and attractive is seeing that in our entertainment. And one of the good things I see kind of the shift right now that there's a pushback on the wokeness. A lot of people are kind of done with that, and they kind of want to see more things going back to the way it was. And let's celebrate masculinity. Let's celebrate patriotism. Let's make people excited about being these things again. And I think it's going to resonate again with another generation. So I'm not too worried about it, to be honest with you. I think we're in good hands going forward. I'm the same. You literally got to spell it out. Dude, partly, I mean, dyslexic, he bothers me. You know, a lot of times I'm good, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I get words I don't even think I'm going to get and I nail it. And other times I'm just like, fuck, too many letters. They just, you know, thank you, Aldous. Again, Aldous knows me. He just did that on purpose. He did that on purpose because he wants to see me fuck up. But you know, smaller words, dude. I can't compete with your encyclopedia over there. Key thing now is, oh yeah, I read that. Same when your age. Yeah. I think it's a great age. I think this is a great age of raising the next generation. And everybody in my age that I'm around, granted, I'm growing around or grew up around small town folks, not so much city. You know, I haven't spent a lot of time in the cities except for when I used to play shows in the cities or conventions or stuff like that. But I feel like that's a mentality, you know. So I personally don't have any fear. Like I think we're going to be fine. I think there's going to be a new generation of men that grow up, and a generation of women that grow up the way that they should, and we're going to be good. We're going to be good. Men of my generation work, gym, enjoy our hobbies, and keep to ourselves. There you go. That crap comes from the bigger cities. Go out into the smaller communities, and it's always been the same in terms of raising little boys. Yeah, 100%. That's kind of what I was just saying. You know, like I come from that small town mentality, you know, more of the country kind of mentality, and that's what it is. You know, you don't have time to not be a man. You have to grow up being a man. Responsibilities are taught from an early age. We're Gen X, Joe. We remember a world before the wall, and we're raised by our parents throwing our asses out the door in the summer and not unlocking it until the street lights came on. Dude, I was talking about it the other day. It's so funny thinking of my childhood and just how different it was in general. It just spending so much time outdoors. And granted, there was a lot of times I spent a lot of time in my bedroom because, you know, once I got into comics and drawing, I wanted to be at my drawing table, and my mom had to kick me out the door and be like, go run around, you know. But I lived in the woods. Me and my brothers, we'd go out, we'd build forts, so we'd play in the woods all day long, riding our bikes on the road, you know, the country roads and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a time, probably the last generation that had that kind of freedom before technology really kind of came in and hampered things. And technology is good for certain stuff, but for the younger generation, I even see it with my kids and my friends' kids. Not that you're wanting to, but they're just from an early age. You know, phones are right there, tablets are right there, early age, and it's kind of hard to keep back because that's just what society is now. So you really have to push back on it and work hard. All right, technically Generation X or Gen X is 65 through 80, but there's a grace period of. See, that's what I'm saying. I was born in 82. So I've always considered myself Generation X, and I'm going to continue to do that, 100%. We just have well-written characters, again, both male and female. With the women, they think they have to make her masculine. Yeah, no, that's 100% what we need. What was great about the 80s, 70s, 80s, you know, going farther back, I'm sure everyone that reads the older books know, you can have strong female characters and still be feminine. I mean, there's a way to do it, because that's what they are. You don't have to make them masculine. You don't have to try to make them take a place of a male character to be a lead or anything. Like, you know, we'll get back to that. I know Kayla's getting back to that. I got a character book coming up. Hopefully we're going to crowdfund this year that she is writing, and we're going to find out, we're going to see a strong feminine female character that is going to be absolutely amazing. You guys are going to love her. Brian Norris said, isn't that Dune actor guy like popular with the younger generation? He's a twink. With what actors are even considered masculine anymore? I think that's going to be the thing. You're going to have to see a new generation of masculine character or masculine actors coming up in Hollywood right now. You know, as much as I like that guy, I can't remember his name, I do like him as an actor, and I like Tom Holland and stuff like that. But they're not Schwarzenegger, you know, or Jean-Claude Van Damme. Or Bruce Willis, you know, growing up. I think of the guys we had, the masculine characters, the masculine actors that we had on TV when we were growing up. I mean, think about that compared to now. It's really insane. You know, like those were our heroes, you know, muscles, guns, fight, you know, like all that stuff, you know, be a man, stand up, protect, revenge, all that stuff. And, you know, now you're seeing what you're seeing now. So I think if you see more actors coming up and people actually willing to make those style movies again, like I don't think we're ever going to get the 80s action stars like we used to. I don't think that's going to ever happen again, but I think you can have characters and actors coming up that are pushing more of those ideals. And I think if we do, I think we're going to be in good business. Nah, we had freedom like that too. All right. Well, yeah, maybe okay. But you're not that much younger than me. I don't think. Maybe you are. I'm not sure. We were lucky to have grandparents who went through the Depression and World War II. They taught us not to be pussies. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is facts, you know, especially you have a generation previous to us that went through some hard times. The greatest generation, called the greatest generation for a reason. And then you had the baby boomers. They went through shit. They went through shit, and then they passed that along to the Generation X's. And for the majority, I would say the Generation X has passed that on through the millennials. It's just, yeah, it's the city. No offense to everybody that's living out there, lives in a city. You might be offended. Like, all right, let's quit with the being so offended these days. All right, sticks and stones, man. Like when I was growing up, it's sticks and stones. You know, words, they can't hurt you. You're stronger than that. All right, thick skin. Let's go. You know, have a difference of opinion. Don't worry about it affecting you. Somebody else can have a different opinion. It doesn't affect me. I don't give a fuck. You know, I believe what I believe. But let's not get offended by everything. So I'm not putting down the cities. I'm just saying it seems like a different mentality. And if you're in the city and you have the same mentality, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Greetings from Raleigh, North Carolina. Thank you, K. Ojo. Great to see you here. Thank you for being here on the Ronin Joe Show Sunday night. Let's go. Don't look at Hollywood for anything, Matt. Yeah, not right now. Not right now, but maybe. 1980s and 90s were, yeah. There's a reason why I tout the 90s besides just comics. I mean, there was something about the 80s and the 90s, two decades back to back we're never going to get again, that I think were absolutely stellar. And after that, we kind of dipped, you know, but I think we'll get back there. I love Westerns. They are probably the best place to see true masculinity and display. 100%. 100%. All right, why is the Pope next to my name? Oh, that was a long running trope when this channel first started. When doing the show Ott and stuff with my brother Sean, one of my taglines in there was that the Pope calls me JMS. It was just something I made up one day, just being funny, and it kind of took off. So like there was a series of shows or a time there where I did a lot of Pope stuff, and I was like, I put a Pope emoji. I completely forgot it for maybe it's the first month members. So that's probably why it's there. But yeah, it's kind of old school lore, I guess you could say, on this channel. Twisted Dreams is in the house. Says Ronin Joe, what's going on, brother? Of course, every time you were jumping in the chat, I do have to play this.
Subject's notes. The extraction theory papers. Am I the only one who did the reading?
I think Generation X millennial is so bad. They forgot how to raise their kids. Maybe. But that's why I love the fantasy masculine men. Yeah. Again, let's get back to that. Let's make comics like that. Let's make movies like that. Let's get back into music. Let's get past the feminized male twink generation stuff. Again, no offense out there. It's okay that I said it. If that's what you like, if that's what you do, you be you, my friend, and I'll be me. Okay. All right. 90s definitely better books. 100%. All right. Shows. Daredevil. I don't know if you guys are watching it, but one of the questions I've seen going around here, and I was wondering, was how long the show took place after the Netflix series. And apparently we got our answer here. So, see, timeline. Daredevil Born Again showrunner gave it an MCU timeline update for Netflix's Defenders saga. When asked about tying the series to the Netflix show by IGN, discuss the team's mission, take all of what happened to these characters and push them forward 7 years. So it seems like it's been 7 years since the end of the Daredevil Netflix series in that timeline to the Born Again series that we're watching right now. It was obviously job number one. The idea being we were all fans of the old show. It set the template. But what we wanted to do was take all of what happened to these characters and push it forward 7 years. Everybody's older, should be wiser, and maybe some people are, maybe they're not. And we wanted to take the world and keep pushing it or keep moving it and going to the next step. So there you go. 7 years between the Netflix series and the Born Again series. Joe, the reading is Skadalalala. Skadalalala? Skadalalala. Okay, let me go back. Showrunner Skadalalala. Wait, that doesn't seem right. Skadala Pananian? No. With more resources and a bigger palette, working with the Marvel Studios instead of the now extinct Marvel Television, which that does suck that it's extinct. The team is now able to give Daredevil's on-screen story all the attention needed. So it's very calculated, both in terms of look, in terms of storytelling, in terms of the characters, for this to be a continuance plus, to use the Marvel term. We now have the ability to tell stories a little differently than then. We have more resources, we have a bigger palette, and it was the idea of taking that and pushing it forward 7 years. And as you know, by the first 2 episodes, the central dilemma and conflict is much larger now. So I just want to bring that out of that article. 7 years in between series. I don't know why they picked 7. 7's an interesting number. Kayla, you know numbers. 7. Isn't 7 the number of... Wait, 5 is the number of grace. 7 is the number of completion, right? I could be wrong in that. Kayla knows numbers a lot better than I do. Kayla, let me know. Let me know. What are you guys thinking of the Daredevil series so far? I'm absolutely loving it. I see some mixed reviews out there by the people on social medias, and I think a lot of times, I think people are just predestined to dislike something and find all the little things that are wrong with it. It's not a perfect show, not by any means, but it's entertaining. And you know me, the rule of cool on this channel, the rule of cool. Make it cool, make it entertaining. Let me veg out for an hour, and I'm down. I love the show. I think it's great. 7. Yes. I like that. Was that what it is? I don't know. Oh, is it eternity? Is that what? Okay. Is that what it is? I'm legitimately asking a question, guys. You know, it's not a gag. Like I'm relying on the chat to help me out here. Like that's what you guys are here for. 7 is the number of being able to pay rent after winning at dice. There you go. There you go. I get you on that. 7, completion. Yes. Spirituality. Perfection. Okay. 7 deadly sins. There you go. That's hey. Divinity. Okay. You calm down. All this. I don't know shit about 7. All right. Oh my god. All right. I'm gonna take that. I'll take that from you guys. What the fuck is this? Get off my screen. Get off my screen. You know what? I was gonna cover. I'm gonna cover that on Odd Stuff because that is Batman Hush related. There was an article I found that was kind of interesting, but let's cover that in the Batman show this Thursday. All right, let me bring this up because this was all of the talk. I need to get a better pop-up blocker on this computer. I think it's one of the biggest things. Pop-ups. Close that. Close that. Close that. All right. Hopefully that'll work. Do you guys see this? There's been a mass pushback with Marvel not paying its talent what it's worth. And we've known this for a while. You know, like this is not surprising. But I like the fact that people are starting to speak out about it more. Guys like Rob Liefeld, because 7, 8, 9. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Yes, classic, guys. Thank you. Eisner winning comic creators call out Marvel. Stop fucking creators over, is what they said. Strong words. I like it. In a recent Instagram post, comic artist Dustin Nguyen expressed his frustration with Marvel Comics shedding light on a long-standing issue of low pay and inadequate royalties for artists. His candid remarks have sparked a conversation about the treatment of creators in the comic book industry. One thing I think Marvel was great at back in the day, even though you had the purge of the Image guys leaving, is the royalties I thought were really good. I mean, Mark Silvestri was famous for making a shit ton of money on Uncanny X-Men, where he was able to buy beachfront property, Ferrari, or whatever all that stuff is. He made some decent money on his royalty rights. Apparently now it's non-existent. which kind of sucks because if you're going into fuckers, get off my screen. Thank you. Okay. Apparently, if you're a comic book artist, whatever you make is what you make, right? And you don't get those royalty rights like you used to. Everyone, I'm not working with Marvel. Everyone, I'm not working with Marvel can fuck themselves. Nice. Nguyen, or however you pronounce it, wrote in a message shared via Instagram. I've asked nicely for the past 15 years on behalf of every artist, stop fucking creators over. You're not getting another cover from me until then. I like that. I'm going to read this post here. And I don't have to read the rest of this article. This post is pretty solid. It says, okay, getting hits earlier than expected on this one. I'm kind of glad because I got words. But really, if this bothers you, I'm sorry. Marvel has been undercutting creators from the start, unless you're getting 6 to 7K a cover. Man, that'd be awesome, right? I hope you're getting a piece of the MCU and after sales. Between them and DC Comics, they're the only ones that doesn't pay a royalty for overseas sales. Interesting. I think America is the originator of superhero comics. Yes. Japan has manga, which we love. Europe has the cool ass shit we love, but can't describe. And what the fuck? They're not paying creators a piece. Come on. Fuck this fucking shit. I love it. Okay. I'm just going to say this line right here. Oh, I can't highlight that. Interesting. Fuck this fucking shit. I love it when you throw those words back to back. It's something I used to do when I was on the stage as a frontman when I was in a band. You get on there and you're doing a rant, right? And you're like, fuck this fucking shit. I don't know why. It just sounds good. So good on you. Also merch, lunchbox, and teas. Good luck. I got a bunch of DMs from people telling me I got to be careful. Don't cross Marvel. They're a major player. The only two in the mainstream. OMG. Fuck them. Damn. This is actually the first time I read this. I didn't proofread this at all. I just heard some people talking about it. It says, let's see. Man, I give a flying fuck. Fuck Marvel Comics. Fuck anyone that I'm not in directly working with. I love my Marvel editors because they got your books out to you on time. The direct staff has no control. They don't juggle the stupid fucking numbers. I'm going to break into simple ass fucking terms. Wow, look at that. You're just dropping the F-bomb like a crazy person. You're an artist. You draw shit. You want to get paid for that shit now, in the future, forever. You draw now and in the future in countries everywhere, including the one you don't live in. Fuck this current Marvel contract. Damn. I'm too small in the tier and can't negotiate a better one for you. Those are in control. Those whose work pull, please work for the rest of us. DC isn't far from them because, after all, they are a conglomerate of things owned by Warner Brothers. Doesn't help your argument. But when I ask for things, DC works with me. I have heard that DC is a little slightly better from guys like Brett Booth. I've asked Marvel for, I swear, $75 page raise in the past 15 years. The minimum wage of California is doing better than them probably in a decade. Even that asshole, no, I was with you into that. Will do better than the Marvel given a month. I don't even need the shitty chump change, but I want to see how cheap they are. All this equaling maybe a royalty. That's the damn. This is a hell of a rant. Please, sir, can I maybe have 15 cents after you've made your thousands? Thanks. No response. So what I'm trending carefully for again, I seriously forgot. That was definitely a rant. That was kind of hard to read, but you'd have to get into his head and how he was just spurging out there. But I like it. Dude's trying to get his point across. Careful full of gas, handful of batches. Yeah, I like that. Simple terms. All right. Yeah. In this day and age, why would anyone take a chance on working from? I'm kind of there with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some stuff that would be cool, but same thing. Like, why would you? You can't make a living on it. Fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, I quit. It's pretty much what it was. I loved it. This is kerosene-soaked house approach. Yeah, no, he went scorched earth on that. You were in a polka band. All right. Polka. No? Okay. I've instantly forgotten what was it? Okay. Why am I just hearing about this band? I don't talk about it a lot, I don't mention it. I've always thought comics was probably the worst way to try and make a living in illustration. People remember those who make big money and forgot all the regulars who make almost nothing. Yeah, it's kind of like the fantasy rock star stuff where you hear all the big successes, the people that hit it big at the right time, the Rob Liefelds, the Jim Lees, the Sylvesters, the McFarlanes, they made millions. And it's just it's not reality, especially not nowadays in the comic book world. You're getting paid very low page rates. $75 a page is insane. Like, I think you can get more than that as an indie artist just doing a crowdfunded project. You could probably at least get $100 a page, maybe 125, 150, depending on your skill level. Man, that's crazy. And all just because they expect you to be happy that you are drawing something that has the Marvel print on it, right? It's highly disrespect. Comics are the hardest way to make maybe make a little bit of money. Yeah, unfortunately, that's true. All my dreams I've had in my life, it just pay very little. When you think they should pay more, like, I wanted to be, make it in music. And a lot of the guys that I was following at the time, I think Lamb of God, if anyone knows the band Lamb of God, I was reading an article, Randy Blythe, who's the lead singer of Lamb of God, said, I think he was making max 50 grand a year. And you're just like, damn, I'm almost making that. Or at the time, I was making right around that at my job. Now I'm making more, thankfully, but that's not much. Too many hands in the pot. Yeah. Student of God, welcome, brother. Ben Jones says, only in it for the prestige, the bank on later for creator-owned stuff. Yeah, possibly, but a lot of these guys go into the creator-owned world, and I don't think they do that well. Who was it? Was it Sean Gordon Murphy? A couple years back that thought he was gonna make like $1 million or something, and I can't remember. He made a decent amount for like a guy like me, but for like his name, his prestige, he didn't make jack shit going into the crowdfunding world. 2025, go into business for yourself. We all know these companies screw over their artists at this point. You were asking to get fucked over. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with all you guys, but I like that this guy is speaking up. I like Rob Liefeld is speaking up. You're getting a lot of prominent names kind of pushing back, and that needs to happen because drawing comic books, it's a hard thing, and it takes time. It takes time, and it takes talent that people should be paid for. This stuff isn't done for free. It shouldn't be done for free. Anything that you're doing, like, it's craft. It's artsmanship, right? It's not everybody can draw. It's not a dime a dozen job, even though there's a shit ton of artists out there. Just like in music, there's a ton of people that want to play the guitar. You can always find a really good guitarist, but that's still the talent wise is still lower when it comes to the mass amount of people that actually are in the United States or in the world that are vying for these jobs. You get a good one, it takes a long time to draw. You have to have skills and know exactly what you're doing, sequential storytelling, visually, how can you engage the audience visually, comics, again, visual medium, writing is great. And I don't want to get into this age old conversation. What is better? What's not? Writing or art. They're both great. You need them both for a comic book, equal art, equal writing. Let's just put it there so we can all agree and move on. That's what makes a good comic. But visually, that's what is special about comic books. It's a visual medium, storytelling medium. It makes it more unique than anything else that you see out there, more than movies, TVs, novels. It's a unique thing to comic books, and that visual aspect is huge. And regardless if you were a fan of like 90s art or if you're a fan of more independent art or nuanced stuff or whatever, there is an element when it comes to the storytelling, sequential storytelling, that is there that a comic book absolutely needs. Pay the guys what they're worth and what it takes them to do it. If not, then you're wasting time. You're wasting the audience's time. Yeah, and these guys are so talented. Go find something else. A lot of these guys could hit the indie scene and probably make a pretty good, decent amount of money with crowdfunded books, because some of these guys will make a decent money on their campaigns, be able to pay them maybe up front or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know what Marvel's doing, but again, I think you can find cheap talent when it comes to overseas stuff, and that I think that hurts sometimes. You know, there's some fantastic artists that work in other countries in Brazil that do a fantastic job, but they're cheaper. You know, so I don't know. It's just they make shit ton of money. Pay your guys. That's all I gotta say. Kayla says it's crazy. A guy tapped on a banana on a wall and made more money than these comic artists. It's crazy. A guy, taped. Fucking tapped. Bullshit. A banana. I have no idea what that is, but that is crazy. Sean Gordon Murphy put up a decent showing, just over 3K books sold, around 259K. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. But didn't he say something like he was anticipating making like $1 million or something? Because again, a guy like him, you have the name recognition, you have the popularity of working on Batman and doing your thing. You would think that he would jump in. Now, granted, I don't think Plot Holes was the best creator-owned idea, so that could have hurt. But still, you think on name alone, you should be able to pull more money than that, and they just didn't. So it could be the project. I don't know. Emma Wackus is in the house. What's going on, brother? How tasty was the banana, though? Apparently that's what we all want to know. I always joke that the two things I'm good at, art and music, make the least amount of money. Yeah, they're expensive hobbies. When we were doing the music scene for a while, it was like, man, this is an expensive hobby. When you talk about the money you spend on all your equipment, updating your equipment, that's why I was a front man. I had a mic. I go buy a $100 mic every few months because I destroy them on stage. And my thing was like, slam the mics and all that stuff, part of the stage show. But you talk about the money that my drummer put into his stuff, the guitarist. Yeah, it's an expensive hobby, and art's the same way. All the, the paper, the ink, all that kind of it's crazy, and you don't make a lot in return. Even in the indie scene, Reaper Destroyer did pretty good. I closed that out around $75,400, which is amazing. It's more than I could ever hope for with that project, and who knows if I'll ever reach the heights again with that. That was cool, but in the grand scheme of things, that's still not a number you can make a living on. So I mean, I have no dreams of going into the mainstream to try to do that, because there's no way you can make a living in it. And maybe if we're lucky, we can make a living in the indie scene. But it's we're chasing our dreams. Can't really make a living a lot of times chasing our dreams. It's the exact reason Peter David needs a damn GoFundMe. I saw that. I didn't really know what that was about, but I saw that he's got one out there. Yeah, promotion is a big thing. Yeah, I seem to remember SGM or Sean Gordon Murphy saying he expected $1 million. The subject matter sucked. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's just a book. I remember I was like, this is what you're doing? This? That might have been the wrong one. People got mad at Sean Gordon Murphy for dumping his friend Doug or something, the Earthworm Jim guy. Okay. I'm not sure on that one. That might have been, I don't know on that one. He was supposed to do for the Earthworm Jim? Sean Gordon Murphy was? Sean Gordon, say that 10 times fast. You can be an OG creator, but the concept has to be good along with a proper promotion as well. No, I agree with that. A lot of factors go into it, but sometimes I feel like, maybe you should be able to, have success off the name that you built. I feel like that should be it, right? You spend the time getting your name out there, all the hard work it puts in, all the hours and stuff you put into getting your name out there in the mainstream. You should have something kicked back when you go out and do your thing. But then again, crowdfunding is a niche thing. Not a lot of people know about it. Sean Gordon Murphy might have been better just getting a book and publishing it through Image or, some other company that could actually put it on the LCSs instead of the crowdfunding. I do think that crowdfunding is going to be huge going forward. I think Rob Liefeld's a guy right now is really trying to push it. He does a lot of stuff on Whatnot. A lot of his just creator-owned direct to the consumer's hand stuff that he's doing there. I think he's kind of seeing the wave of the future when it comes to crowdfunding. DC and Marvel will always be around. They're going to have the budget. They need to make stuff for IPs and movies and stuff that they're never going to disappear. But I do think that the crowdfunding or direct to consumer aspect of things is going to be the way to go. And I think you're going to see guys like Liefeld pushing it hard into the future. So I'm interested to see what that's going to be like. Sean Gordon Murphy needs a writer, though, in my opinion. That's a different subject. Well, yeah. I would say like a lot of these guys need the writers, right? I mean, writers, editors, people at least know what they're doing to help along the way. But then again, with Sean Gordon Murphy, I thought, didn't he write his own stuff when it came to the White Knight or whatever it is that he did? I'm not an expert on Sean Gordon Murphy. I like his stuff, but I never really followed him too much. So I don't know if he's a good writer or not. It's just such a shame Liefeld is still all this trying to get me angry. Trying to get me angry at 11:17 at night. I see what you're doing there. And Stock Trades has shown Sean Gordon Zero book for like, wait, what? Stock Trades has Sean Gordon Zero books for like $14, I think. Ah, nice. Okay. I'd rather draw another Reaper Story piece for free than work with these companies. At least I'm happy in the work. Yeah, Ben, by the way, that is an awesome piece. I love it. I love when people draw my character. Just seeing your depiction of him, your interpretation of him. But yeah, that's solid, man. That's badass. I got that drawing. I definitely want to do something with it in the future because I think it's, people need to see that colored and put out there. So I'm going to be working on it for sure. Okay. All right. I've never read his stuff, so I don't know. So maybe he does need a writer. All right. I think last thing, I didn't get to the Stan Lee stuff, so that is my bad. It just happens sometimes. Things we talk, the chat takes over, and you kind of dictate where we're going with the show. I have a loose idea, but I really rely on you guys. The show is really the participation between you and me. I did see this. I'm actually excited for this Spider-Man Noir series that they're making with Nicolas Cage. I think it's going to be awesome. I love Nicolas Cage. I think this could be really, really cool if they do a good job. I just saw this where it says could be released in black and white. Now, this was interesting to me because I thought it was always going to be released in black and white. So let's see. Speaking of coming soon, an exclusive interview, Haas hinted that Spider-Man Noir may be released in black and white as well as in color art. So maybe they're doing two versions of it then. It was just an incredible project, he said. Everybody involved was amazing. Brendan Gleeson, he plays my boss. Just getting to do that noir thing. It was very genuine film noir, the way they filmed it, the long shadows. I think this should be in black and white. I really do. We filmed it in, I think that may come out in both black and white and color. But when we filmed it, the monitors were all black and white. So you got this feeling and it looked very, very authentic to the point that I would actually go and look at the monitor and think I was looking at some older footage. This is what excites me about this because you have the ability to kind of pull that old black and white noir detective feel. But with today's technology, I think it can make a very beautiful looking show. I can't wait to the actual trailer of this drops and we get to see what they're actually going to do with it, because what I'm imagining in my head is going to be something pretty special, and I don't even know if I want a colored version of this. Is this a series or a movie? I can't remember. Or what did I leave off of? They did a beautiful job with the filters and all that stuff, making it look like a genuine old 1930s black and white film. So this should excite Aldous, getting this feel kind of like The Shadow. Not that I'm comparing it. So you just calm down, all this. Don't yell at me. But, comparing it to that feel, I think would be cool. But obviously, just the writing and the Nick is incredible. It's just a really fun project, and I cannot wait to see how it turns out. The cast of Spider-Man Noir further includes blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I just want to cover that real quick. I saw that, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. Let's make it. Get it in black and white. Keep it in black and white. That's how I want to see it. Not really interested in seeing the color version. Sometimes black and white is just really, really cool. Every once in a while, I get an itch to scratch to go watch the old Universal monster movies. I still like Dracula and stuff, and just the old black and white. And if they try to capture not just the black and white feel, but also the score. You know how older movies, the black and white movies, they didn't have a lot of the score throughout the show, so there was a lot of silence, where the background sounds and all that stuff was really picked up. There's something different about that. It may stand out. I think if you did something like that, maybe hybrid version of still having the score and everything in there. I don't know. I'm imagining a lot of things. I think it could be pretty cool. Not one film since peak noir has ever been able to match the magic of the lighting. Yeah, well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see, right? I'm interested. I am interested to see what it's going to look like. When it comes to comics, people are living more. Oh, creators discovering people like yourself. Well, I mean, yeah, if I can benefit from people leaving, that works for me too. But I personally would like to see a thriving, healthy comic book industry instead of what it's become. Interesting. Okay. Black and white films are greatly underrated. I agree. Who knows good noir? The Shadow knows. Yeah, I'm not an expert. I knew you would be an expert on that. So I'm interested to see when it comes out what you think of it as far as like trying to capture that feel. Because I'm just kind of like a, passerby when it comes to that stuff. Like I like certain things, but I'm not like an expert in what it should be. But it could be pretty cool. Bancroft's doing more launches too. Nice. Oh, maybe I missed this. Sanoir. Oh, dropping links. Nice. Yeah. If you're a mod here, again, like I said, drop links. Let's go. I'm looking forward to it. All right, good. We'll have to talk about it because I'm really interested to pick your brain on what you think of how it's coming together. Because I think it could be good. It could be good if they do it right. It could be good. I don't think I got time. Well, what time is it? 11:20. I could finish this out real quick. There is a documentary coming out about Stan Lee, about his abuse. I'm interested to see what this is going to be. Ever since I saw the preview, apparently there was a guy that was doing a documentary at the end of his life. I'm going to take a look at the trailer real quick here with you guys and let me know if you're interested. Now, I think some of the stuff I've heard about, oh shit, this might not have the sound in it. All right, let me do something different because it's always got to have sound issues if I don't share it a certain way. I'm interested to see what you guys are going to think about the Stan Lee stuff because apparently some of the things I'm hearing about the end of his life, how he was taken advantage of, could be absolutely heartbreaking when we actually see it. So this trailer was interesting. I'm definitely going to check it out. Let me pull it up through this site. This will work better. I can get some actual audio. And we'll see what happens with this. Okay. Stan Lee, the final chapter documentary reveals how Marvel icon was exploited in his final years. And it just sucks, man. Like, whatever you think of Stan Lee when it comes to Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and all that kind of stuff, people can go back and forth and have their issues, whatever. This dude was still a ambassador to the comic book world. I mean, single-handedly probably got a generation of kids excited about comic books, and he just loved comic books. He seemed like a fairly nice, exciting old man when it came to this stuff. And it seemed like he was living his best life when the Marvel comics started or Marvel movies started doing their thing. And it seemed like it was everything but that. Before the end of the year, headlines, I didn't see anything. All right, let's just watch the trailer and then I'll get ready to end this.
My name is John Bullerjack, and for the last 4 years of Stan.
All right, calm down real quick. You calm down. Let me get I think I have the article down below. If you guys want to find this, you can click on it and read the actual article. Let's check out this trailer. Let me know if you can hear the audio.
My name is John Bullerjack, and for the last 4 years of Stan Lee's life, I was his assistant, his confidant, but most importantly, his friend. I traveled the world with him, witnessing firsthand the incredible highs of his legendary career.
Yeah, right.
But also the heartbreaking lows. Stan spent his final years enduring mistreatment, manipulation, and betrayal
at
the hands of a few very bad actors.
Is there any way to get us out of the San Francisco thing? Or do you feel we gotta do it?
Gotta do it. At the time, I didn't have the power to stop it. But I did have a camera, and I filmed everything.
Whoa, watch out!
Now I'm asking for your help to finish the film and finally get justice for Stan. This documentary includes firsthand accounts from key witnesses, including comic book legends like Rob Liefeld and Roy Thomas, as well as many others who saw the chaos and unethical acts. This isn't speculation.
That's a good
it's
point.
All on
This
camera. Undeniable.
This is old Stan Lee coming at you. No, you're not old.
Irrefutable.
I thought I was finished, but apparently I'm not.
God.
With your help, we can finish the film, expose the truth, and give Stan the justice he deserves. As a bonus, I'm going to share with you some insights on the film from some of the most well-respected creators in the industry.
I'll be honest, I didn't know what to expect.
When I saw the documentary, I knew some of it.
Oh, Alex Mark Wade.
Like most people, I didn't know all of it. And there were pieces of it that blew me away.
It's a lot of emotions, dude. It's a crazy roller coaster.
Seeing Stan in that situation, being taken advantage of, was really hard to watch. Because I just think, I was thinking of my parents and my grandparents.
So I think it's important that people see that even the guy at the top, the most successful comic creator, isn't protected.
This film shows behind the curtain that not a lot of us fans get to see.
This isn't just a fluff piece trying to attack somebody. This is like, I'll just show you in their own words.
I had no idea how badly he had been exploited. And that's a message that people need to hear.
I really miss Stan, and just watching it just felt like I really got to know him again. My thing that I hope that, this documentary really does is, shine a light on what was going on truly with Stan Lee.
Interesting, man. And that's heartbreaking. That's a great point, Aldous. I don't know too much about this guy. I don't know what his role was during Stan's last 4 years and what he was doing, apparently not doing anything to stop it. But it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. One, if anybody has any empathy out there for grandparents and stuff, just to see Stan at the end of his life just being pushed and just pushed, like that scene where he's on the golf cart there and he's like thinking he's done and he still has to do more and he just looks worn down and he looks tired and it sucks, man, that these people can get a hold of legends at this point in their life and then just abuse them like they are. And, because they're just making money off them. They're just pushing them, but they don't give a shit. They're using him for his name and they're getting what they want out of it, which is whatever they're getting paid. And I'm sure that they're getting paid quite a bit. I don't know about this guy. And you're right. He didn't do anything for 4 years. And now we're supposed to fund this documentary, but I do think it's probably an important thing to get out there to see. So in that aspect, I hope it gets funded because I want to see what this is. I mean, I think we deserve to see it, to see how he was abused towards the end of his life. Is this from when he grabbed that nurse's ass? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff about that have circulated, a lot of stuff that have demonized Stan as well. But again, so many things go around. If you have actual evidence of it, that's one thing. If it was a malicious intent, that's one thing. But there's generational aspects have to be taken into some of that stuff. And again, if you're getting older, sometimes your faculties are going. You might do and say things you don't normally do. You shouldn't be demonized for that. You can be redirected or whatever. You shouldn't be demonized for that. I don't know. Not that he was being mistreated, but that Mark Wade had no idea. Mark Wade, this is pretty sleazy. Didn't do shit when it was happening. Now wants to make money off it. No, I 100% get that. I actually didn't know anything about that until you guys just brought that up. So that is kind of shitty when it comes to that. But I do want to see this thing get made. I want to see it get out there because I think people need to see it. And Rick, like you said, Rick, whoever was involved of the abuse of Stan Lee towards the end of his life needs to be brought up on some kind of charges, elder abuse, all that shit. Bring him up. They should not be allowed to live good lives and make the money they made off of him if that's what they did to him at the end of his life, just pushing him, pushing until the end. Absolute rates are insane. Abuse rates are insane. Yeah. No, unfortunately, you're right. Industry isn't like that anymore. Okay. Sheldon Martin, what'd you say? The industry isn't like that anymore, though. Are you talking about the Stan Lee thing, or because I'm confused on what you're specifically talking about there, brother? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We have over 100 people all together, 83 over on X, 22 in the chat. We got the core 20 in the house. Appreciate you guys, as always, jumping in here for the Ronin Joe Show, which has become one of my favorite shows because I just get to sit here and talk to you guys, which is, one, I love the sound of my own voice. So this works out perfect for me. And you guys give me a big head so I can sit here and just, listen to myself talk. So I love it. The Beam Pads in house says, what's up, Joe? Off topic. Are all your books out? Haven't received anything yet. Thanks. No, they are not. They are not. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the show or not. Or actually, I was just on Vaughn's channel. He's closing out Phenomenova over there on his channel, having a close out. By the way, if you guys don't, go over and say hi. Back that book if you haven't. Still very much fulfilling the books. It's going a slow process. It's going a lot slower than I would like it to go. This is my first time doing it. A lot of things I'm kind of learning. I'm enlisting some help. To get things going a little bit faster. So hopefully this is going to help out. I've reached out to some people, got some advice, reached out to some other people, getting a helping hand here or there. So hopefully we're going to get out. It's a big ass order. So I'm working hard to get out your books. It's basically just me, my mom, and my wife. And that's, it is what it is. But we are getting books out. It's a slow pace, but they're steadily coming out. Unfortunately, I took the last couple of weeks off because a friend of the family was in the hospital dying. If you follow me on X, you saw what was going on with that. And it's just, that was a hard time, but we're past that and we're moving on. We're getting back into the swing of things. So we will get rolling again. You will get your book though, guaranteed. I will not rest until this book gets out there and gets fulfilled. I will not launch the next, Reaper Destroyer 2 campaign. I'm holding off on the launch of my website, which is, I'm getting ready to drop shirts. I'm wearing a shirt right now, which I really like. I can't wait to get out to you guys, but none of this stuff is going up until I can get this campaign fulfilled to everybody. So everything is on pause until that campaign goes out. EBS talked about the abuse of Stan. He also saw it like years ago. That sucks, man. I heard a little bit about it. I've heard a little bit about it, but I never saw a lot of evidence. I also heard a lot of stuff where people were dogging him and stuff. And again, until you see evidence, it's kind of hard for me to believe because there's so many things that go on that could be false. But this seems, obviously this was true, and I want to see why. I want to see the footage of it. Even if this guy was a part of it and he makes money, I don't care. I want to see the evidence. I want to see what they did to him, and I want charges brought on those people. Beampass said, oh, good. Looking forward to reading it. Thanks again. You're welcome, brother. And thank you for the support. The support from my backers is huge. I highly respect everybody that backed the book. Anytime you need to reach me, you can either email me through the Indiegogo site. You can hit me up on social media. I will always answer you as quickly as I can with an honest answer of exactly what's going on. And I will try to work with you guys as much as I can when it comes to this. And I'll be honest straight. I haven't put up a lot of, updates on the page because I've just been fulfilling since the page is closed. But I'll be completely honest with you guys, working hard. It's a slow process, a lot slower than I want it to be, but it's a learning process. In the next campaign, I've learned a lot. There's gonna be a lot going forward. I think it's gonna be out faster. We're gonna fulfill it faster. So, thank you, man. It was my wife's best friend. It was a pretty hard time, but I thank you for that. Appreciate it. Right. I mean, my mom's been doing a great job, but there's only so much you can do when it comes to our schedule. What sucks about the indie scene, and this doesn't matter to anybody that backed the book. I mean, you guys spent money on this stuff, so I don't expect a sad sob story here when it comes to the behind the scenes stuff. And it's not excuses. It's just the sad reality of being a independent creator is you work a full-time job. You have to pay the bills, and then you have a lot of us, if you're the age I am, you have a family. So you're doing all these things, and then you're trying to fulfill at the same time. And then you're trying to stream, you're trying to get out there to make sure that people know I'm a highly transparent person. So you can always find me, whether I'm streaming or social media, because I want you guys to be able to have any questions. I can answer them right off the bat. So yeah, it's definitely a learning experience. I meant the entertainment industry, including comics, are filled with vampires and a lot of people that are like, well, nobody else was doing anything about, I got you. Then something big happens. No. Yeah, that makes sense. Ugh, excuse me. Of course, a lot of people have seen the abuse of Stan, but said nothing. Apparently that's what's coming out. I can't, remember people from Michigan are a little slower than the rest of America. So be patient. Yeah, don't be a bum back type 1, everybody. Check us out tomorrow night, Spawn Review. We're looking at Spawn issue 362. The brand new issue just dropped this past week. Badass cover here. We're going to be reviewing this tomorrow night with the Gooch, with Zach, with Paul, with my host, Sean Arendt, as always. Then join me here Thursday, 8 p.m. for Ott and Stuff. We were looking at Hush Part 4. We were wrapping up the series, getting you ready for Hush 2 with Batman 158 that will be dropping on the 26th of March, I believe. And we will do a review of that one as we're getting ready for it. So, and then meet me right back here next Sunday at 10 p.m. for the Ronin Joe Show. We will just sit here, shoot the shit, have a good time. You guys can make fun of the fact that I can't read. I stumble over words, and but I am pretty good looking. We can't deny that. That's something we have to be on the same page about. I will not take any blasphemy about my looks unless it's just top tier, 100% sexy, masculine appearance. I will boot you. I will kick you out of the chat if we can't be on the same page. After that, everything else is free game. Open game, open season. Let's go. All right. Get out of here. Oh, borderline, man. I'm just saying that's language that'll lead you to getting kicked. I am the master of this domain. All right. I am the king of this. I control the chat. I will kick. I will put in timeout for anybody that says I'm not good looking. That's just the way it is. I got a bunch of links for those 2 channels. Sub to them, keep them date. Yeah, you dropping links like crazy, man. Thank you, some person. Appreciate you. No, that's a lie. That's just a lie. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. If you are in the chat, I'm sending you over to Diabolical Soul Studios, which is Jay's channel. They're going to be over there with the Gooch and the gang doing their things like they do on Sunday. If you stick around and you go over there, please let them know that this is a Ronin Joe raid. Let them know that we're coming in, raiding the show. And I thank you for everybody who was here tonight. Let's see. Do we run a long outro or not? Just because I'm vain, let's do it. Let's do it. So be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
He should do his duty. And to impress him, takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, to destroy worlds."